I got to the point, I started looking at the state laws in Oregon. So I started studying it. So the first thing you need to do is understand the law. So once I understood the laws and the step-by-step it took to actually get a dispensary open, I started looking at the tangibles on what can I execute on right now.
Right.
So the first thing you need is to find a property that is 1,000 square footage away from a K212 and is 1,000 square footage from another dispensary. Right?
Mandatory to have real estate.
Like mandatory to have real estate. Okay. So when you look at that, it's either you lease or buy it. But the messed up part is because cannabis is still federally illegal, you can't go and lease out a property that is federally backed by the bank. So that's like almost all the properties.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? So it slims your options down.
Right.
Then you have the square footage buffer. So real estate is the number one key to really get into this cannabis game.
Okay.
And so I tell people I became the COE. I became the chief of everything. Mm-hmm. I legitly was my attorney. I was my CPA, bookkeeper, bud tender, janitor, whatever you needed, I did it because I was so passionate about getting my dream off the ground. I did not care who believed in me, didn't believe in me. People said I was crazy. It was like, bro, you need about $1 million. You sure you could do that?
Right.
Can you do that? You sure? I was like, bro, I'm gonna make this happen. And when I had my corporate job, I was already saving money. I ain't have $1 million, but what I had was I had a lot of grit. I had a lot of hustle. And I put in sweat equity. So I was like, yeah, I am my meal. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm a hustler, dog. Yeah. I was like, I'm about to hustle there. So I got there, I was like, all right, cool. I built out my whole shop. I found a location. I got rejected for 2 years. One time I had a property in Salem. I was Salem, Oregon. I got a property, the city approved it. Then they came back and said it's 998 square footage from a K212 grade. So imagine you spraying bread on a property. Then they said, oh, sorry, we made a mistake. It's too close to a K212 grade, so you can't use this property. Mm-hmm. So now you got to go back to the drawing board. Right. You have to find a new property. And I ended up in Eugene, Oregon. My first location, I tell people it was a trap house. It was the worst location you could find. It was not in the street front. It was hidden, dog. Right. It was a struggle. I used to go out, pass out flyers, try to get people to know I was there, but I was hungry.
Right.
I was hungry and I was motivated. Like my first year, I slept in my shop for a whole year. I worked from in Eugene, my first job. I worked from like 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Right. Like I just hustled, man. Like I remember those ramen noodles days, man. Like I don't eat it all. I eat it because I want, because I like it still. But you know, it's a decision. But back in the days, it was what I could afford. Right. So I became a chef, man. Ramen noodles with every greens you could think of. Ramen noodles, hot dog. You know, it was that. The hustle was real.
So